Hello, I'm Carol Vorderman and welcome to Perfect 10. And guess what? It's Friday!
Hooray!
And very sadly, actually, it's the final show of this, our first ever series of Perfect 10. Wow. But don't worry, we'll be right back here in just a couple of weeks' time. So please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our return. Now, before we head into the weekend to celebrate, let's give our brains one final workout. You know what's coming. 10 questions, 10 points, all done in just 10 minutes. And if you're joining us for the first time, come in. Never too late to join. There are 25 weeks worth of quizzes to get stuck into. This is 25 weeks times 5, 125 Perfect 10 podcasts ready for you. So have a listen to some of those if you fancy. Right, at the end of yesterday's podcast, I asked you to solve this. Which TV host is an anagram of calm, raw, vendor? Did you get it? It's me, Carol Vorderman. And wow, that was for fun. It's actually now time to play for points. Can you end the week and this series with a perfect 10 score? Fingers crossed. Are you ready? Are you steady? Here come Friday's questions. Question 1, as always, is your starter for a perfect 10. Which continent has the largest number of countries? Well, there aren't that many continents to choose from. See if you can work it out by process of elimination. Question 2 is our hearsay round and the final audio mystery of the week. So which well-known phrase or saying is hidden in these sounds?
Oh, I am having a brilliant time. You know, I am easily as content, as merry, as cheerful as Lawrence over there. Are you all right, Larry?
I'm very happy.
And he is the epitome of jolly.
Say what you hear, hearsay, and a point will be yours. What phrase is hidden there? Question 3, Carol lateral thinking and a little bit of quick maths. A stack of 40 identical boxes is 240 centimetres tall. If Leah takes 4 boxes from the top of the tower, how tall will it now be? It's our final memory game of the week, so time to get retaining. And for the final time in this first series, let's head back into the Perfect 10 Friday Foodie kitchen. Listen up, stay focused. Here we go.
Try this incredible key lime pie for a dessert to impress. We've gone with a pastry base and cut through the sweetness with a sweet and sour cream. We'll get to the pastry later, but for the filling, you'll need 2 397-gram cans of condensed milk, 6 egg yolks, 2 tablespoons of icing sugar, juice of 9 limes, plus another 6 for zesting and 1 more finely sliced to serve. 200 ml of double cream, 100 ml of sour cream, 50 grams of brown sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Ooh, delicious. I'm hungry now. I hope you were listening because here comes the question. How many limes in total does this recipe require? It was all in the clip. Can you recall the information you need to answer the question? I hope so. Now, don't forget to send me your riddles, puzzles to @Perfect10Carol on Facebook, Insta and TikTok. And we might test the rest of the Perfect 10 family with them. Who knows? They might even end up in the next series. Right, moving on. Time for questions 5, 6 and 7. The 3 Fs, frivolous, familiar and fun. Here is your question 5. How many hurdles are there in a 110-metre hurdle race? A potentially tricky one to start the 3 Fs today. Moving on now to question 6, and it's all about cold, hard cash. Jane Austen appears on which UK banknote? Question 7 now, and as it's Friday, let's have a little sing-along. Some lyrics for you. I bought a watch to time your beauty, and I've had to fit a second hand. Are lyrics in which song? Do you know this one? Here's a clue. There might be a link between the last 3 answers. Round 8 is 1 in, 1 out to see if you can score another point with this. Which letter can you change in the word letter, Letter, to make something a cat might have. Question 9. I know this. It's the sort of question that will have you kicking yourself when you hear the answer. Okay, here's the question. Be Back Soon is a song from which musical? A rather fitting question for today. We will be back soon with Series 2 in a couple of weeks' time. But which musical is Be Back Soon from? And here we are at question 10. Final question of the day and the week and our first series. As always, it's our daily riddle. What can be seen in water but isn't wet? Ooh, and there you have it. That's Friday's Perfect 10. Another week of brain training in the bag. Answers coming up. So if you want to, pause and rewind if you need to hear any of those questions again. It isn't cheating. Get your scorecards ready. And if you haven't already got one, head on over to our website, perfect10.uk, to get yours. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And follow us on social media at Perfect 10 Carol for even more brain teasers and competitions to keep your mind in tip-top shape across the break. Right, let's get you some answers, shall we? 10 questions, 10 points, all done in 10 minutes. But did you get a perfect 10 score today? For the final time this week, let's find out. Question 1 was our starter for a perfect 10. Which continent has the largest number of countries? And the answer is Africa. Believe it or not, the number of countries in the world is still surprisingly debatable, with different organisations using different definitions. But either way, Africa comes out on top with a total of 54 individual nations. Question 2 was our hearsay round. I asked you what phrase was hidden in these sounds.
Oh, I am having a brilliant time. I am easily as content, as merry, as cheerful as Lawrence over there. Are you all right, Larry?
I'm very happy.
And the answer hidden in that clip was as happy as Larry. Well done. Congratulations if you got that one right. I hope you are as happy as Larry with your scores from this week. That was a tricky hearsay, I have to admit. Anyway, we move on to question 3, Carol lateral thinking. A stack of 40 identical boxes is 240 centimetres tall. If Leah takes 4 boxes from the top of the tower, how tall will it now be? Well, the answer is 216 centimetres tall, or 2.16 metres, if you want to put it that way. That's because 240 divided by the 40 boxes gives us 6 centimetres for each box, 6 centimetres in height. Leah takes 4 of those away, so 6 centimetres times 4, that gives you 24 centimetres. So she began with a tall tower of 240 centimetres. She took 24 centimetres away, and that equals 216 centimetres left. Question 4 was our memory round, and today it was a recipe for a delicious key lime pie. My question was, how many limes in total does this recipe require? Now remember, I asked for the total number of limes, and the answer is a total of 16 limes. 9 limes for the juice, another 6 limes for the zest, and 1 to serve, giving us a total of 16. We moved into our 3 frivolous, familiar and fun, the 3F questions now. Question 5. How many hurdles are there in a 110-metre hurdle race? And the answer is 10 hurdles. Question 6. Jane Austen appears on which UK banknote? Well, the answer is the £10 note. Previous faces on the £10 note have included Florence Nightingale, Charles Darwin, and Charles Dickens. You're starting to see a link between the answers here. Here's question 7. I've bought a watch to time your beauty, and I've had to fit a second hand. Are lyrics in which song? And the answer is Perfect 10 by the Beautiful South. My other favourite, Perfect 10. 10s all round this week. Question 8 was 1 in, 1 out. Which letter can you change in the word letter to make something a cat might have? Well, if you change the first letter E to a letter I, you get the word litter. Cat might have a litter of kittens. Question 9 was, I know this, but did you? I asked, Be Back Soon is a song from which musical? The answer is Oliver, based, of course, on the Charles Dickens novel Oliver Twist. And finally, question 10, your final riddle of the week, your final riddle of this, our first series of Perfect 10. What can be seen in water but isn't wet? And the answer is your reflection. I can hear you groaning, but very well done if you got a point there. I always find the riddles difficult, I have to admit. Well, there you have it, another week of Perfect 10 down, and I hope that you're feeling a whole lot smarter than you did on Monday. And even if you didn't get a Perfect 10 score, it's still a great way to exercise your brain. And I hope that you've learned some fun facts that you can tell your friends or your family at the weekend. Now, whether that's which continent has the most countries or how many hurdles there are in a hurdle race, it's a good laugh, really, isn't it? Remember to subscribe to our podcast, follow us on YouTube and across our social media channels so you don't miss out on any of our shows, any of our bonus questions, or any of our fabulous competitions. That was the final Perfect 10 of Series 1. Congratulations to everyone who's been quizzing with us since episode 1 way back in January this year. Thank you so much for playing along. All of your comments, it's just been wonderful. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And maybe together we've learned a thing or two as well. Now, we will be back in just a couple of weeks with more brain teasers, riddles and puzzles, plus a very big announcement. But until then, keep an eye on our socials and on your podcast feed as we'll be releasing some very special bonus content and the best of episodes. And don't forget, there are over 100 episodes in the back catalogue, so go back and test yourself before we return later in the month, perhaps. Now, from me and all of the Perfect 10 team, have a perfect weekend. I'll see you back here very, very soon. Bye for now.